The following program is for mature audiences only. None of the information provided is intended to be medical or any other professional advice requiring licensing through any regulatory agency. It is for entertainment purposes only. Listener discretion is advised.
Hi, I'm Amy Satori. I'm an intuitive spiritual counselor assisting in raising the vibration of our planet. I was born with extraordinary gifts, experienced enlightenment for 6 months years ago, speak light language, and channel a being called Celeste, who is an ambassador for a galactic council of 60. I am able to scan your energy field for emotional blockages and talk to or aid in the healing of your organs using Qigong energy healing. I can also help you make decisions, talk to your pets, deceased loved ones, and your friends and family's higher selves. I can help you navigate your relationships and answer pressing questions in your life by talking with the unseen world. I use these skills I've developed to translate the images, feelings, impressions, and messages I'm given while tuning into you and your situation. I work Thursday through Saturday as a psychic for the Lighthouse Bookstore downtown Boulder, Colorado, and conduct remote readings all over the world. You can order a private reading from my website at amysatori.com. Please like, share, subscribe, and follow me here on Podbean, Instagram, my 1111 Twin Flame Forum on Facebook, and YouTube. Set a reminder in your phone to call live on the show any Sunday, 5:30 Pacific, 6:30 Mountain, 7:30 Central, or 8:30 Eastern, to ask me a question, receive a blessing, or have me do some energy work on you. So, my friends, without further ado, let's get to today's show. Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening to the Satori Show. Sounds like I need a little adjusting on my mic here. Okay. So I'm in my new location, and so there are all kinds of tweaks and things today. Fun stuff. I wasn't sure, since I haven't been on for a couple of weeks, and this is Cinco de Mayo, whether tonight would be kind of slow, or everybody's going to be calling in, making up for last time, but we'll see how it goes. So far, we have a couple people already on hold. Hi, guys. I'll be to you in just a minute, and if there aren't very many callers, then we can take our time. So, okay, there's a third caller. All right, I think I know which way this is going. And it's really funny for those of you who are going to be watching this on YouTube. What I do is I record it in call-in studio. It's kind of a complicated thing because I do this whole background thing. I have to have all this equipment and stuff, and then I record it all, and then it gets uploaded to YouTube, and I have to put your recordings, your audio, with my audio into the video and then upload it to YouTube. It takes hours. I have a new internet now, so it should be a lot faster, but it's a little bit of a complicated thing. I will do some YouTube lives sometime soon. I don't know when, but yeah, so that's how that goes. Okay, so, what I was going to say is when you guys watch it on YouTube, you guys are going to laugh because there's like these lights above me, and they keep flickering on and off. I don't know why. So, we'll see. Anyway, we'll take our first caller. Hello?
Hello?
Well, hello. I know this voice already, just with one word.
I didn't expect to be on this show. I was just going to listen. Anyway, I could update viewers on my situation.
Absolutely. You'll have to give us some background for those who've not been listening for a while. Why don't you give us a little bit of background and then share your progress, share your own twin flame story.
Oh, my twin flame and I have been back and forth the last 4 years, and he finally, I think, is waking up more and more to situations and what his karmic is doing and taking more control over that. We are doing really good. I wouldn't say we're in union, but we're not out of union. We're doing more things together. We're talking more. And he's kind of pulling his head out.
Yeah, he is. Just to clarify a little bit, too, because I'm very involved in her situation. When she says karmic, it's a karmic situation where there are kids involved, and they are not actually, he's not going out with the karmic. He's just trying to establish good, solid boundaries with the karmic. Like they are not an item at this time, correct?
Correct. Very
Okay.
correct.
I just wanted to specify that. And you actually are having relations with him. You have somewhat of a relationship with him, and you're talking to him on a daily basis.
Oh, yeah. We talk multiple times during the day. We spend weekends together a lot.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people would say that is union, but there isn't any labels to it yet. It's not like boyfriend and girlfriend. It's not. I'm just living each day as it is, taking it as it comes, being patient, letting him work through the issues that he needs to work through, but being supportive, but still kind of having my boundaries of what I need for me to keep my light on and to keep going, if that makes sense.
Yay. Yeah, and you've gotten stronger as I've known you. You know, you've been loving yourself more and more and putting yourself as a priority, would you say?
Yes.
And not in a selfish way.
Definitely.
I'm saying, you know, that there's something about when you love yourself. I mean, even the Bible says love your neighbors as you love yourself, which kind of implies, you know, love yourself first, and then you can love your neighbor accordingly. Like that stewardess that gives the air to themselves, and then they, or not that, you know, you if you're sitting there on the airplane, you put the mask on yourself and then you put it on your child, because you're not going to be able to help your child if you don't have your air first. So I think you're doing a really good job of you know, there are certain things that you want from him, but you're not going to sacrifice yourself and your own happiness to make that happen. And he's playing a little bit of wouldn't you say he's playing a little bit of a game? I mean, some things have come to light that you guys had an incredible heart-to-heart the other night.
Yes. And I told him exactly how I felt about things and how I was insulted about a few things, which kind of surprised him. I don't think he really saw it in that light until I told him exactly how I felt. And I think the open communication that we have is one of the best parts of our relationship. And sometimes he tells me things that I wouldn't even think of on his side that makes me stop and go, okay. And hopefully we're both helping each other grow to where we're supposed to be instead of holding each other back, which is a really good thing.
And you're watching his actions more than anything he says, which his actions have been proving to be even more valuable.
Yes. He is an Aries through and through. He's not much of a word guy, but his actions, and that was part of the issue before when we were together, is I was trying to get him to say certain words and wanting him to say certain things and not looking at his actions and how that was going, which made me stop and realize, oh, well, maybe I need to listen to that actions speak louder than words thing and take that into account.
Yes.
So if there's any people out there that they're wanting their other to say certain words or have a certain conversation and they're counting on that more, look at their actions. What are their actions saying? If they're not verbalizing it, what are they actually doing to say that without actually saying it? Which has helped me a lot.
Point. Yeah. And now he has a lot of walls up, and she's been working on them for years, trying to get those walls to come down. So what are some ways
I've been
that you've
trying
been
to help him.
Yeah, how have you been doing that, like without sacrificing yourself, but how are you building rapport with him and showing him that he can trust you?
Well, the biggest one is, you know, back up my words with actions. If I say I'm going to do something or this is how I feel, and then don't turn around the next day and totally negate that with an action of, oh, wait, you didn't talk to me today, so now I'm going to be pissed and I'm going to, you know, throw a fit and not talk to you or be mad. If I'm going to, you know, be there and support him in what he needs to do, I need to let him do that and be supportive without putting my feelings into it and going off on a tangent. And I think that helps a lot. If you're going to say something, back it up with actions and let him or let your other know that you actually really mean it. And even if they test the waters and it's like, oh, she's or he isn't really meaning what they say because I did this, because I'm going through this thing and I need my time, I need my space, I need whatever. You can't take that personally and turn around and get mad if you actually truly are wanting to support them and help them grow. And it's a huge trust thing. And just the knowing that it's divine timing and it's going to happen when it happens. But I think the trust thing, he was married for almost 20 years and it was not a good marriage, and his karmic is a very narcissistic person, and that's what
she hurt him really bad.
Yeah. And that's what he was used to. She would tell him one thing and then turn around and do the exact opposite. So I think he's learning to trust when I say something, I actually mean it, and that's what I'm going to do. And that's helped him, I think, and helped us build our relationship, and that he can maybe start letting those walls down and trust somebody again and be vulnerable. That's his biggest thing, is he doesn't want to be vulnerable. He doesn't want to trust somebody enough to be hurt again. But he's getting there.
Yeah.
I think.
And I think, now, you've told me it's okay to share whatever I want. But I'm thinking, I mean, I think that the way you guys look at sex is a little bit different, too, because it's like you see him having sex with you as commitment, more commitment.
No, he sees it that way. I don't.
But I mean, you see it as him seeing it as more commitment. That's what I meant.
Yes.
So you see it as a sign. When you guys have sex, you see it more as a sign that he's committed to you, in other words. Because you know that to him that means commitment. How did you come to that?
I was going to say.
How did you come to that conclusion, though? Because I know some women would be like, "What? He's just using you. If he won't commit to you and he's just having sex with you all the time, he's just using you." So maybe you share that unique perspective.
The way I came to that conclusion is from his own words. There was a time where we had, like, there was no sex on the table. We could hang out, we could go out, we could have fun, but he didn't want to end up at night sleeping together, or me staying over at his house, or him staying at my house, because to him, he's like, I feel more committed, I feel more obligated, I feel more like it's a relationship type of thing if we're doing that. And so there was a couple of months where it's like, okay, if that's what you need, that's what we'll do. I'm not going to push the issue. And it slowly has been, it was almost like a switch. There was one weekend where he's like, we had a conversation, and it's like, you know what, Kelly, that's not what I feel it is. It's like, it's an extension of my love for you, but I don't feel like a commitment, if that's what how you want to view it. And it was almost like a switch. We had a big conversation, and he's like, okay, I feel safe enough that we can do this, and I can be vulnerable. I can have this without. It's just one of the processes that he's going through. But that switch has flipped. So it's been a while. It's been a couple months now that I've stayed over at his house a few times, even with the kids there. We've been together, and it's more, and that's why I guess why I think, to me, it's more of a commitment on his part, just because he feels like it's more of a commitment on his part, because he has told me that.
Right.
I don't feel like it's just a sex thing and I'm just being used to, because he's horny and wants to get off. I don't feel that way because of the conversations that we've had.
Right. And he's very honest with you. That's pretty cool. And I do commend you on your patience. I don't know if I'd have that kind of patience. I don't know. That many
honestly,
years, and
it is really almost 4 years. We've actually known each other for almost 30 years. Yeah. But we just, recently, it was about 4 years ago that we reconnected. So It's,
Well,
I guess
girl,
4 years is a lot.
I've got a bunch of calls stacking up, so but thank
Yay.
you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And hopefully a lot of you got something out of that. Hers is a kind of unique situation, but you guys, it's maybe something you can look forward to watch out for in some ways that you can kind of take a look at it. Just watching its actions is important, Any final note before we go to the next caller?
Just be honest. That's the most thing that that's how you gain your trust. That's how you gain, in any relationship, honesty is important. So
I agree completely.
And just do you.
Yes, do you, boo.
Yeah.
I love it.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Amy. I'll talk to you.
Okay. Later, I know. Okay, let's see. Larissa.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, girl, how are you?
I'm struggling. I'm on the struggle bus today.
No. What? Oh.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Well, I got your mini reading, and it just kind of validated what I've been feeling. I feel kind of like a car with its engine revved and it's ready to go somewhere, but I've got nowhere to go. So, I've been focusing on myself and doing tons of just deep work, and then forcing myself to go on dating apps and just go out and meet new people and have like different experiences, but it isn't the same, and so I'm wondering, like, am I doing the right thing? I don't know, I just need some guidance.
Yeah, yes. Yes, you are. The trick, and I know this is really hard, is to kind of do your best to forget they exist. In a way, it's impossible, of course.
Yeah.
But the more that you can live your own life, you give them the respect and the freedom and the space that they need to have their own process that they go through. And they can feel when you're just kind of, when you have that tether tight, when you're tapping your toe, just waiting and bugging them and like, okay, you ready to talk to me yet?
It's funny because I went out with someone else, and this week I have felt like the emotions or the anxiety or, like those phantom emotions where it's not you, it's someone else. And they've been tenfold this week. So I'm wondering if he's like feeling that I've been trying to move away, and so it's been like pulling me back.
They feel that too. Yeah, they totally feel. When you start dating somebody else or you start hanging out with other guys, they totally feel it.
Yeah.
But sometimes that's what they need to, to face things, because the masculines are pretty good avoiders. They're really good avoiders. If you guys haven't watched my Lighthouse Alert, the last one, I was astonished. I was like, what? You're vying for control by withholding that conversation because they don't want to be vulnerable or whatever, And some of them are just afraid of, like, to tell you what's been going on during the separation, and they don't want to look like weaklings. Some of them like financial hit, and they don't want to, there's just, it's vulnerable. It's vulnerable. And, it's a lot to face that moment of, hey, it seems really easy to us. Like, why don't you just say, hey, how you doing, or something, just talk to me. But they know that it's opening a whole other can of worms, and they're going to have to face their stuff. They're going to, they're afraid of judgment. They're afraid that you're going to then not want them or whatever. There's so many fears that they have, but they do eventually face it, hopefully not too late. But yeah, get your energy out there, just having fun, because it's no fun being depressed in the summertime, it's no fun.
Oh,
and so you got to distract yourself and have a blast and keep your vibration high as best you can, however you need to do that. You might be a mountain person or a water person, or, whatever suits you. Go do those things that make you happy. And he'll come along right at the perfect time,
Can we check in on where he's at? Like, is he... healing, or is he partying?
No, he's definitely healing. I don't feel party. I don't feel party at all. In fact, I feel kind of poised. Let's see. I just feel like he has a lot of regret. And I feel like he is just I feel like he's really in his heart space right now. I feel him kind of almost clutching his heart like, oh man. And I want to talk to her, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready for where this will go. And I don't mean like he's, I just think, some of them are even afraid of emotions. I feel like he's afraid he'll cry, or afraid that he feels that he's going to look like he's less powerful, or less, like you have him on a pedestal or something, and if he like breaks down in front of you, you're going to think less of him, basically.
Really?
So, and I know that the feminines are not like that. They're not judgers like the karmics would be. They're not somebody, you guys that are listening, I know some masculines listen to the show, and, she's not going to judge you like that. I don't care if you're bawling your eyes out. You can be yourself with her. And I know you guys are not accustomed to doing that, and it's not real comfortable to do that. But if that happens, you could not have a better person to cry your eyes out to. And honestly, she will meet you right back at that place. So no matter how bad things have been, if you come to her honestly and authentically, she will listen to you. She will care. That's one thing about these true love relationships, is they exude compassion too. I meant to say compassion, but passion's definitely in the forefront.
All the above.
Oh yeah, all the above. Anyway, I have a bunch more callers, but is there anything I can help with before?
One last thing, and it's going to sound so silly, but his birthday is in a couple weeks. Do I reach out, or do we continue the silence?
If you feel intuitively like it's a good thing to do, if you feel like you're getting all kinds of signs and things to contact him, I would. But I'm kind of feeling like at this point he wants to be the one to initiate. So I would let him do that. Some of them kind of feel like they have something to overcome in contacting you. So they if you do reach out, don't expect him to say anything back until he's ready. That's the thing. Okay. Some feminines go, well, I said something and then he didn't say anything back. Well, he's just not ready yet. You gotta give him plenty of space. And they get upset and they'll lash out and well, fine, screw him and whatnot. But then they calm right down also. But just so you guys know, before you make that mistake, don't have any expectations. Just express yourself from your heart and be as authentic and sincere as you can be when you do reach out. And, obviously don't play any games, don't lie or any of that. Just say your piece from your heart, and that's it. And then back away. If he contacts you, hallelujah.
Yeah. I was going to be a simple message, like literally, like happy birthday, have a great day. I wouldn't go into.
Yeah. Well, then that would be awesome. Okay. There's nothing ever wrong with just being sweet. Just do it.
Just do it.
So, just do it.
Okay.
I'm not sure if he'll say anything back. I'm not sure he'll say anything back yet. And it's fair. That like, yeah, this is a moment of them really. They've been going really deep. They've been trying to tap into that wisdom within. They know they're about to make a huge leap of faith into their future. A lot of these guys are about to make that move. And you don't want to take any of the air out of their sails, you know what I mean? They really need to feel like they have conquered this within themselves. They have conquered this demon and they have laid it to rest, and they are like, I'm doing this, and nothing's going to hold me back. A lot of them have chariot energy. Chariot is like a locomotive that cannot be stopped. It's like the momentum's already going, and he is not going to take no for an answer. So, yeah, let him show up for you in that way. Let him show up, bold and brave.
Okay. I'll think on it then. I'm not sure if I should.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks, Amy.
You're welcome. Bye. Have a good one. Chat with you later. And we have...
Ooh, hi, Amy. Yeah.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Good.
I can. Can you hear me?
Yes. I feel like I have, my head is spinning. I know we only have a short amount of time, and I'm like, okay, what am I exactly going to hone in on? Because we've been, my twin flame and I have been talking and talking and talking 4 hours at a time, and I'm always responding to your videos because I watch everyone. I'm like, oh no, I need a new one. Where's your new one? Because I just eat them up, and I watched the one where you were talking about twin flame versus soul flame. I must have watched it 5 times, and I'm like, okay, he's not stepping forward. We're doing all this talking, but he's not leaving his karmic, and he's even telling me this isn't going to work. It'll be done in 2 months. I'm like, and I'm so honest with him, and I'm just, I love you. I can't see it with anybody but you. But if you're with that karmic, then I need to start to, as you referred to earlier, the yellow mask protection device. I've got to start taking care of me. So if you're going to tell me that you're going to stay with her, I respect that. But I'm going to go, this guy asked me out, and I'm going to go out. And I know it threw him for a loop. And I didn't do it to jab at him. I did it for myself to say, okay, I need to find some direction. But in my heart, it doesn't feel like he's a soul flame. He's just a very dear man who looks great on paper, but there's not that spark. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, we've even talked about, that, and he's like, you need to go off and have him take care of you, and he's going to be wonderful. I'm like, here's what you need to know. I want to be with you, but you don't want to be with me. So I'm I don't know where this is going. I'm just walking one step at a time, trying to figure out where is best for me. And he keeps saying, I would drive you crazy. And I'm like, well, that's your take. So I don't know what to say. I guess that's my one question. What do I say when he says, I would drive you crazy? And I'm thinking, well, we talked for 4 hours and you're not driving me crazy. And now we're to the point where I will give him a piece of my mind, and he respects it. And sometimes he'll even giggle, and he's like, yep, you put me in my place with that one. So, okay, all of that said, now advise me.
Yeah, no, that's so many twin flames go through this, and the masculines get really scared that if you get to know them, you'll reject them. So rather than have that happen, it's funny because that first caller that was on tonight, she's in that situation where he's put her in the friend zone a lot. He's also admitted he loves her. So. Yeah, and they have a total full-on relationship.
You're up here. He's like, Amy, you're up here, and every other woman is down here. And I'm like, well, I'm there alone on a pedestal. That's not doing me too good.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So it's just to protect themselves, and it's they eventually finally figure it out. They do finally figure it out, and they do tend to freak out when she finally does listen to him and says, well, okay, then I'll start dating other people. I'll start doing whatever, going out with some other guy. And then they get all protective and jealous and angry, and they just and they're like, what are you doing? And it's when it goes to be taken away, all of a sudden he gets over his fear. But I think what it looks like from my angle, from talking to all these feminines and some of these masculines, is they're just afraid. They want to keep her at a distance until they can't take it anymore. And they ultimately know that they won't get along with anybody else better than they do you. And that's the funny thing. It's they become so jaded, and it's kind of sad because they want to avoid being with the karmics that are their being. They're becoming what they are afraid to be treated like.
Yeah.
It's it's this weird paradox where it's they think you're going to do it, so they're going to do it to you before you can do it to them. And
He wanted me to meet
really
his karmic. What is that? Like, what?
I've heard of that too. I mean, we've had it on the show before. It's like, what? You're what? You know, we're one big happy family, aren't we all? We're all soul family going through these experiences to grow, but
sometimes I feel like that's making sure I can still set boundaries. Like, no. You know, like the old me would have said yes and been mortified the whole time, and now the new me with the yellow mask on my face says, yeah, you need to understand where I'm coming from on this. But well, like, I don't want to hurt the other guy. I don't want to lead him on. I
know. So what I have opted to do, which I think is, you know, it's just different than what other people do. You know, some people like that first caller. She has kind of milked it along for years, and she's put up with him keeping her in friend zone and all kinds of things, and that works for her. For me, that wouldn't work, you know. So
right. Well, and I did hear her say it's been growing in that, but still never getting to fruition, kind of. If that's the same lady I heard.
Yeah, she's really hoping it's going to pay off. But for me, I just felt it was healthier just to respect his wishes and even though I know that he's lying, I'm still like, you know, if you either need to come to me with honesty or not, and if you're telling me you just want to be friends, I'm going to take you for your word. So don't bullshit me, you know what I mean? Don't tell me you just, you know, I call him on it basically, and I'm like, if that's what you want, then I'm just going to be your friend. And so that's what I've done with it, and I've closed the door. And also, when you say, well, okay, I'll give you what you want, then it makes them see the truth better too, because they're like, oh shit, seriously?
So going on the date was the good thing.
You're just gonna walk away? I think there's an emotional element though too of really closing the door, just being like, that's not what I want. I do not want a man who's pussyfooting around. I want a man who says, I want to be with you. Know what you want and close the door on what you don't. That's the way I handle things. I don't know. Well, some people are
we've
more...
we've had that conversation too. I said, I thought you were asking me out the other night, and then come to find out, no, you just wanted me to meet your karmic. And so, well, I didn't call her that, but... I
don't know what goes on in their heads sometimes. Oh my gosh. Oh my God.
Yeah, but I don't know how to go from here. Like, do I sever ties? Because I said you know, if you're telling me that you're going to her and you're going to try and work things out with her, then I'm going to sever ties. And then he's texting me even more and calling me on the phone even more. And I said to him, I feel like I'd miss you too, and I don't want to sever ties and then feel like now I can't call him or can't reach out.
Okay,
I don't know what to do.
Okay, so this is kind of like, for me, this is where I like to have things cut and dry. Either you're in this or you're out. If you're out, we're not going to be texting and doing all the cute little things. Forget about it. Right. I don't care how much you miss it. It's painful. It's painful for the person who cannot be in the relationship. It's torturous. It's not very loving to yourself, is it? If you can't be with them, it's like they're getting off on the attention. Oh, I have this karmic here, and then, so I don't have to be a man and grow up and like set boundaries with this person who treats me like crap. I'm just going to have the best of both worlds, and I'll have this great sex with this person I can't stand. I know I don't ultimately want to end up with. Well, I have this other person doting on me and pining over me, and all of I mean, they got the best of both worlds in a way, in a really twisted, weird way. But for me, it's just like, dude, if you're not in this, I'm out. And if I'm out, you're going to have to just miss it. You know what I mean? It's like an ex. It's like, I don't believe in being friends with exes too. Anyone of the opposite sex. And that might be a little extreme, but one person always likes the other more than the other. And it's just like the one who likes the person more is sitting there just jealous as hell. And and you're feeding them. It's and these people like who are the ones that are like the ones being liked are just eating it up and getting all this attention, but that's all it is. And it's not fair. It's not fair to the person who likes the other person. You know, it's just like it just to me it's in or out, just in or out. You know, so it's up to you. Just decide what you're okay with and what you can handle and what you're comfortable with, and just love you. Do what's best for you only, and set those rules. And if he's saying he chooses the karmic at this time, let him go with that karmic and learn those lessons. And then afterwards, we'll see if you're still available at that time. And it's not like leading the new person on. You got to genuinely give the new person a total 100% shot. At least this new person who's coming has the balls to actually go forward and to get to know you and put his heart out there. He's not as jaded as these other people who are hiding behind karmic relationships they know they don't want to be with. Go with the guy with balls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go with the guy with some guts.
But there's and until I figure out what I'm doing, and that's kind of my, trying this. I just don't know what to do with the communication because I was out on the date and I told him I was going out on the date, and he texted me about lawnmowers. I'm like, I'm on a date and I can't talk to you now.
I would
then
not even tell him. I would tell him absolutely no communication. Okay. Absolutely no communication. He's just toying with you like a mouse. You're just his little mouse, and he has fun with that. He's like getting a kick out of that. She's out with some other guy, and I'm just like getting her attention on me. That's so not fair. Tell him when you want to show up and you want to date me, and you're done with that karmic person, then let's do this. Let's do this. We'll see what we got. Let's give it a shot. Yeah. But until then, I do not want to hear from you. And I would block him or whatever you got to do. So he cannot do that. He cannot. It's so unfair for him to even try to sabotage your relationship with someone else when he won't give you what you deserve right now. That's my take anyway.
Can you tap into him at all and find out where he is?
Yeah. Hang on a minute. He's sweating it.
Yeah.
He's part of it. I think part of it wants to see if you'll be jealous of the karmic. Like it's some kind of.
That's why he wanted me to meet her.
I think you to meet her because I think he felt like you would understand more if you did.
Yes.
But at the same time, he's looking for an excuse. It's like, I don't care. Yeah, I would probably understand and get where you're coming from a little bit more, but at the same time, it's like, why are you settling? Get out of there.
Yeah,
that's kind of yeah.
My other thought was he wanted me to go, because they work together, go walk around where he works so that the karmic would get mad at him and say, you're gone, because it's easier for him to get dumped than it is for him to dump. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Not a pathetic sense, but it does. That was my
there's
thought.
A movie about this, and it's really funny. It's about this guy who does anything he can to get rid of his ex. He tries everything and pulls everything. But ultimately... Oh, gosh, it's so funny.
Goldie Hawn's daughter.
So funny.
10 Reasons to Break Up or something like that.
Yeah, that one's pretty funny, too. But there's another one on Netflix, I think, or Hulu or something. It's hilarious. And this guy, he's trying everything, and nothing's working. And she's still like, I just love you anyway. I don't care anyway. You can kiss other people. It just cracks me up.
And the other part of it is, I think they're not in a good relationship, and he doesn't want to end it because then he's vulnerable to me, like to be alone and without anybody.
That's what he's really running from, because,
does that sound right?
Yeah, exactly. He's just going to have to grow up. I would completely leave him alone and just let him know when you've handled it, come to me. But handle it. However you got to handle it. I don't care how you handle it. Hire somebody to act like your girlfriend to get her jealous, whatever games you have to play or whatever you have to do, because sometimes you do have to do something a little drastic or dramatic. I mean, I'm not saying that that's a good way to go about it, but honestly, it's like some people just you have to use placebo sometimes, and you have to use unique and creative ways to take care of things sometimes. But, it's best if he can do it honorably, if he can just look her in the eyes and just say, this does not work for me. I don't care if it works for you. It has to work for us both for it to work, so I'm done. I'm out. It's that simple. I don't like this relationship. I don't think it's going to last. We're done, And she cries and cries. Okay, so still doesn't change anything. Just because I feel sorry for you.
Karmic, and she's got like a man in every port who she flirts with. So I don't know that it would phase her that much anyway.
These women are just master manipulators. They're just master at bawling their eyes out, or they know what makes this guy tick, and they know what makes him feel guilty because he's got a heart, he's got a conscience, and so she plays him like a fiddle.
And all the other guys in their life too.
Yeah, but you know what? These guys, one of their challenges is to see through that kind of stuff. Is to be able to stand up for themselves and say, it is what it is, and I'm not going to let you manipulate me anymore. Period. I'm out, and I don't need an excuse to be out. I'm just out, and I have a choice, and I have free will, and I don't want to be with you. And I don't care if you cry. You can cry if you want. Let one of your girlfriends be there for you while you cry. And I care about you as a person, as a human being, but I still don't have to be with you because you're crying or because you need money or because you need whatever it is. I don't care. You are yourself. You are your own responsibility. Go take care of yourself. I am out. Period. It doesn't work for me. That's the point they need to get to. Some of these guys that are still kind of stuck in these situations. You are not. You guys aren't babysitters. You masculines who are watching this, you're not babysitters. You are not responsible for that other person, period. I don't care if they're threatening suicide. If they want to do that, that's their own adult decision. They can do that if they want to. Are you keeping them alive by being in a relationship with them? Are you going to do that till you're 90? Come on, These girls are just manipulating you, so don't let them do that. Anyway, I got a lot more calls to get to, but
okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Have a great night.
Have a great night. Okay, you too. Bye.
Cece. Hey.
Hi, Amy.
Hi. How you doing?
Hi. I'm good. So this is Cece. As you know, my son and I are friends. And so we actually hung out recently, but I've been feeling stuck in the friend zone, and I'm starting to doubt what he's feeling.
Okay.
I just want to know, what is he actually feeling?
First thing I got was love. He's spying. I just saw the Page of Swords. Tell me more about some of the things he's been saying to you.
Well, we've both had a crappy day, so we've just been complaining about our lives. And this girl that he was into last summer, he wanted to meet up with her this summer, but she kind of rejected him, so he's been complaining about that. I didn't even realize that he was still thinking about her, but so I know he's still hung up on some stuff, trying to figure out his life out. So basically, we didn't even get a chance to talk about our connection at all. And
he was complaining about how some other ex doesn't want him anymore?
Yeah.
Let me feel into it. Okay, hang on a second. Okay, so one of the things is they take it personally. Like if you ever get broken up with, anybody who's listening, don't take it personally. What somebody thinks about you has more to do with themselves than it does about you. When you find the right person, it's going to be a lot easier. And they are going to appreciate everything about you. So don't even waste your time worrying about somebody who doesn't want you anymore. That's just silly. Just be glad that you figured it out and moved on, period. You're never going to it's like, what about them makes you cling to them and want them to want you anyway? You could find somebody just as good looking or with just as much money or with everything that was great about her and somebody else and better. You know? So I mean I've seen it time and again. Okay, so having said that,
he actually said he admitted it's an attachment more than anything.
It's an ego thing. It's an ego thing. It bruises ego. If you can learn to lessen the grip of the ego, then you will be much more empowered. Okay, and Bridget, I heard you. I'm trying to get there. I have like a bunch of calls to get to yet. So, but I will. I'm trying. Okay, hang on. He doesn't feel, okay. He doesn't feel worthy of you yet.
Well, he does.
Well, he's trying to work up to it, and I feel like it's going to take him a good, I hate to say, but another 3 months or so.
Is it related to, he's trying to find a job and a place to live, and I know he's stressed about that. So is it that stuff?
Yes.
Or is it?
Yeah. The feminines are a little like this too. They kind of, everybody wants everything to be perfect before they come together, but the masculines especially, like, they tend to put a lot of their worth on their job, their money, all the materialistic stuff that we really don't care all that much about. I mean, we do, but it's just like...
I've been trying to tell him, that, relate to him, because I also looking for jobs and trying to be on an equal plane, but...
Yeah, let him get on his feet. It sounds like about 3 months would allow him to do that. Don't expect anything until August, September, whatever that is, and just let him start to feel like a man again. He's really bruised right now. His ego is bruised and everything, and he's like you said, without a job, without all this, he's not going to feel confident. Even I don't care what you said to him. You could say the perfect thing to him, and he's still going to be comparing himself to other men right now that you could, in his eyes, you could just go to one of them. So he's not going to take the risk of going out with you when you could meet one of these other guys who already has this really successful soaring career and all this stuff. He'd be really threatened and jealous maybe of that other person. So he's going to wait until he feels more confident to make that move, but I do feel like he will in a few months.
Should I worry that he's gonna look to date other women and keep me as a friend?
He could, because that's part of what they do as their growing up process. They go through more abuse from people who don't value them like you do, but it also kind of helps them to figure out what's best for them, and they always compare that person to you. So they ultimately do become closer to you because they appreciate you more and more, that they put themselves through misery to get to you. But I wouldn't be insulted or upset if he does that. I would just know that it's most likely, from the stories that I've heard lately about any kind of masculine that's going out with somebody else, like it feels like they're mostly interim people. They tend to be kind of temporary. It's not going to be like months or years like that last karmic. So I would just be like, oh, he's going through a lesson, and whatever it is, he needed to go through it. But I do feel he's going to reach out to you and want to be with you in a few months, or at least want to become closer to you.
Okay.
So
it does feel like we're pretty close, but but not crossing the threshold yet. One last question is: there's a big festival event, camping happening Memorial Weekend. That we signed up to go to together, and just any advice from Spirit or anything about that? I don't know if I should back out of it.
No, I think you guys should go. I think it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. I just don't think it'll necessarily go anywhere. I think it'll just be fun.
Mhm.
It'd be good.
Okay. Any advice for me to focus on something else other than him?
Yeah, anything fun. Look at an online calendar in your city and find out activities that are going on that like classes you could take, or a lot of times there's like dance nights. You could do salsa Friday nights. Here in Boulder, we've got like the Julian plays a different kind of live music every Friday night. There's all kinds of events and stuff. Yeah, look into that. Try to get busy every weekend. Try to get out and meet people and have fun. And don't be afraid to get on a dating website or anything like that, too. It'll help you boost your confidence.
I was actually...
All right.
There were a lot of suitors, but then I rejected them all, so I can't be with my twin. But I'll focus on myself and my joy, whatever that means.
Be on the lookout for somebody you can really be yourself with. That's what you're really looking to find. Even whether that's your twin or not. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Have a great night.
Thanks.
Okay, guys. I have a lot of you yet to get through, and this is taking longer. So if we could keep it to like 1 or 2 questions, then I'll be able to get to all of you. Okay. Jackie.
Hello?
Hello.
Okay, I guess I kind of have maybe like a 2-partish question. I'm kind of new to your videos, honestly, and I'm new to some of the terminology. And so your videos resonated with me, specifically the one about the sharks when they come out of ghosting. And obviously I had a person in mind watching this, and I don't really know if somebody is a twin flame or a soul flame. I was trying to sort of figure that out, and I'm not sure how to know. And also if that's wherever this person stands with me. Recently I've in 2 weeks maybe, let out a lot of feelings that I kind of been holding back for the past year. And he's not responded badly, not responded well. He just really has not acknowledged them even at all. He's expressed a lot of strong feelings toward me in the past, but he hasn't responded. He just glazes over it and keeps going to the next thing and totally has not responded to any of it. And I can't figure out why.
Where
what he wants to ignore.
Well, the feminines get excited at the connection, and the masculines get kind of terrified. They get really scared they're going to get hurt again, and they run. And the feminines kind of chase after them, like, what the hell? That was incredible. Come back. So they view the same dynamic very differently. So I would watch. I put out a video called Twin Flame versus Soul Flame, so you could tell the difference between the two. The twin flame tends to be kind of sometimes it's a spiritual connection where there's actually like a Kundalini experience or enlightenment or something like that in some extreme cases. Other times it's just like this playful connection that's just super incredible and amazing, and then you see all these signs and synchronicities pointing to them. You're constantly reminded of them. It feels like you're haunted by this person, and it's not like you're necessarily. Yeah, it's like, oh my God, would you get out of my brain? And you see their name everywhere and their license plates from their town, and like, oh my gosh, it feels like torture for the feminine anyway. And the masculine goes into denial and pushes you away and just says you'll only be a friend. Sometimes they get in relationships, but it's super intense. The twin flames can only stick together if they take personal responsibility, though, ultimately. So that's their song and dance, is that they go back and forth until they can both mature to the point that they can take responsibility for themselves. In terms of the soul flame, if you and your twin flame, like, you finally get tired of the song and dance, or they really put their foot down because they do have free will, and both of you are just like, this is just not going to happen, and you agree, or one of you strongly asserts their, free will, then the soul flame comes in as kind of like a plan B. And that could be somebody that you've had either a past life history with, lots of past lives with, or somebody that's that you've known even before your twin flame, that's kind of been simmering for years, that you maybe had a crush on or really liked a lot, that just kind of pop up back on the scene when you've kind of shut the door on your twin flame, and these guys are more mature and more ready to get into a committed relationship with you at that time. So they kind of come to the rescue. And in a way, from what I'm seeing and some of the feminines have been sharing with me and what I've seen in my own life is sometimes it's even better. Sometimes the soul flames are even better, but they just needed you needed the distraction of the twin flame to kind of go through your own process and growth and all this stuff in the meantime while they did, so that you guys could be ready for this moment to come together. So, and there can be many soul flames. So those are the sharks I'm referring to, some of these soul flames. But you also got the players. You also got the guys who just don't want to have sex with you. You also have the guys who are the narcissists and psychopaths and all that. But hopefully, if you've been on this journey a while as a divine feminine, you've really grown and matured through the years, and hopefully when you would see a psychopath or a total narcissist right off the bat and just eliminate those guys. Those are more vampires than sharks, but they all start showing up around the same time. It's like, she's ready. She's ripe for picking right now. They can tell.
Why do you think it might be that he's just not responded whatsoever to anything I've said?
They don't. They don't. They just don't until they're ready. They have a lot of growing up to do until they're able to face that. Mine, when I told him that we were twin flames, I didn't hear from him for the longest time. I mean, it was just, I have no response whatsoever. So, I mean, and I hear it every day, all the time. They avoid. It's too intense. They just avoid it.
I don't know if you can feel anything from him, if this is just something if he's not feeling this for me, or is he, I don't know what you feel like it could be.
Just know you're about to go through a big test, because part of the twin flame journey, unfortunately, is getting rejected. As the feminine, you get rejected. And you have to learn not to take that personally and to know what the truth is. So you got to learn to listen to your own intuition. Go to readers or get a reading from me and go deep into that with cards and all kinds of things to determine, what the truth is underneath it. But it will test your faith. It'll test your own trust in your own intuition. It'll test everything to the core. And it does the same to them in a different way. It's really about spiritual growth. But I do feel like there's definitely a strong connection between you guys that he's denying. So just do some more research, look at more of my videos, because it's going to be too long and I have too many calls tonight. But look at the shark versus soul flame one. There's another one, different types of true love relationships that you could look at. I'll try to remember to put them in the description of this video for you guys. But yeah, this is very typical. Sorry. Not fun. Not fun, but typical. You could, people who don't know about the journey, they all end up coming together anyway. So it really doesn't. It's like, I don't know which one has the better advantage. Not knowing about the journey, but feeling like you're going crazy because you don't have the support that you get in these communities. I've seen women so resentful that they hate their twin flame. And you don't want to go that route. So at least you guys have a community where you hear somebody like me talking about how it's all about spiritual growth and self-empowerment and, growing yourself. It's not about the other person, it's not that codependent thing out there. So, but whether you know about the journey or not, you guys are going to end up together if you're supposed to. So, all right, I got to get on to some other callers, but thank you so much for calling in. And definitely leave some comments into those videos and let me know what you thought about them when you do look, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thanks, Jackie. Bye. Okay. Sarah, I'm coming for you next.
Hi,
hey.
Amy. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm really resonating with the other callers about how one waited forever and one shouldn't wait. I feel like I've been through a roller coaster of emotions always on this journey. So it's nice to know that there's other divine feminines out there.
Yes. We're all going through it together.
I know. So I'm not in communication with my twin, and I've gotten past readings from you as well. I just wanted to know where he's at with his connection with me, like what he's feeling about and why he's not coming forward even. I haven't talked to him in the last 6 months.
Okay. I just see him. It just looks like he's dealing with final details. It feels like he does want to call you and talk to you. It feels like he wants to take you out.
Okay.
But what I'm actually seeing in my mind is like him on the floor, spilling, like there's just been stuff spilled all over the floor, and he's like cleaning it all up. It's like he's cleaning up his messes, is what it feels like. He's made a bunch of messes of his life, and so he's just going back and cleaning all that up before he invites you to come for dinner or whatever. Let's see. You are on his mind a lot. He thinks about you all the time. He makes decisions based on you and wanting a future with you.
Oh my God. And I haven't spoken to him in 6 months, so.
Yeah, as much as we think about them, they think about us. So
he's still interested in the connection and reaching out.
Definitely, very much so. He thinks about you especially at night when he goes to bed.
Oh,
and I don't mean just in that way, but yeah.
I know. I mean, I think about him too, and I make a lot of decisions based on like, what if we ever got back together?
Yeah, he's doing the same thing. It's going to be really nice. I feel like you guys are going to have a heart-to-heart talk, like at sunset. For some reason, I'm seeing sunset. Sometime coming up within the next couple months. I just said within the next couple of months, so yeah.
Oh, my phone cut off. I'm sorry. You said a couple of weeks or a couple of months?
Couple of months. Feels like the next couple of months. Maybe July. July.
Okay.
July 26th. Right. I'm kind of getting a specific date, but obviously, time predictions are like 50% accurate, so don't rely on that. But
yeah, of course.
Because time is a lot, but
July.
Yeah.
Okay. I was saying in the interim, I went out on a date with another guy named Jonathan, but and we've been texting back and forth. I only saw him once in March, and then he's invited me over in May. I just don't know. Like, he doesn't really keep in touch with me or show that much interest outside of when I see him. So I'm just kind of wondering, does he only want like a physical relationship? Does he want something more serious? Is he like, I don't even know if he's a player. I really can't tell.
Okay. Yeah, I think he just wants sex for now. I mean, I just feel like he's too raw. I think he just went through a breakup or had some major heartbreak or something. He is definitely not ready for long term right now.
Okay. I got that sense too, that it was more sexual based, and I wasn't really comfortable with that. So I just kind of wanted to confirm that. Okay.
Cool. You got it.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'll let the other callers go. Thanks so much, Amy. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Have a great night.
Bye.
Janet.
Hi. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Thank you. This is my first time calling. I wanted to ask you about my masculine. I'm going to make it quick. We've been in no contact. We were in the third party. I asked him to go. Tonight I was on the phone with my daughter, and I got this really strange. I've been getting these synchronicity little things going on, but tonight he was really, really sad. And it came to me as being a real sadness came over on me. And I wanted to know if he was okay, because it almost brought me to tears. He was so sad. So I wanted to know if he was okay, what was going on.
Okay. So I know that this Taurus new moon is really playing with people right now. But the cool thing is, it's you know how I talk about how the broken nose sometimes needs to get broken again to reset it back where it belongs.
Yes.
A lot of these masculines are going through sadness or extreme anxiety, or they're realizing truths that are kind of hard to swallow at this time, but it's setting them on the right path. So sometimes they have to go through that extreme grief to feel like even empathy or compassion for what they put you through. And a lot of times what we're tapping into is what they're feeling toward you. So he's probably feeling quite sad, you know, that he's maybe lost an opportunity or lost his chance with you. So, but you got to let him do it. You know, you don't want to be their rescuer necessarily, but
no, right.
Just, you know, pray for him, send him blessings, ask the angels to be with him to help build him back up again and help him to have the courage to approach you, even though he feels that way, you know. I just feel like, you know, actually I kind of feel like a part of his sadness is breaking through to like a revelation, and like it's bringing him to like an epiphany. Sometimes you need to be brought to your knees to just go, oh, you know what I mean?
Right, exactly. I think that's what's going. Yeah.
I think it's a good thing.
Because I kind of felt that too. I just asked the Archangel Michael just to look over him, and I put it that way. I don't know if he's going to contact me soon. He hasn't. I know that he's been in the neighborhood, because he mentioned, I saw your daughter, but my daughter doesn't live here. He thought he saw somebody who looked like my daughter. So I know that he's probably been in the neighborhood looking at where I'm at. But he hasn't contacted me, so I'm not sure if he's been coming around. I think so. I get the feeling that he's in the neighborhood sometime. Does he think about me all the time? Because there's constant thinking.
Yeah, you're right. I feel like kind of a pacing energy.
Yeah.
I was going to say the one thing that's cool about Taurus is like really shaking up anything stubborn.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. Because he's very stubborn. Yeah, he's very stubborn. Like he'll be outside because once something was left by my door, and I'm like, this doesn't seem like my neighbors, you know, things like that. And I don't know how long it's going to take him to unblock himself or come to realization. I feel he might reach out to you actually pretty soon, within the next few days. Okay.
I think this is forcing him to take action, but within the next couple of weeks, I think you guys might actually talk.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Soon.
Okay. Because I'm just wondering if he's okay. So he is okay.
Yep, he's fine.
Okay.
Had to happen.
Okay. A lot had to happen. He had a lot of stuff he had to go through, so I'm glad he did go through it. I put him in that position where he had to go and see those things for himself and see the people that didn't serve him any purpose. So
that's right.
Yep.
Thank you, Tower
you
Moment.
very much. Yes.
You're welcome. Have a beautiful night.
You too. Bye.
Yes, TD, I can do that. I'd be happy to. Hello?
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 Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can.
Can you not hear me? Okay.
I can hear you. You can hear me?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So this is Kelly. You actually did a mini reading for me this afternoon, and thank you. It was a very fast turnaround, so you must have picked up that I definitely needed that. So I'm going to try to make a long story short here. So my twin is my husband, and we've been in separation since November, and we've never been truly completely separated, talking wise. I think we stopped communication for 3 or 4 weeks. In your reading, you said that maybe there was a third party, and my belief is I don't think it's a woman, and if it is, I want to tell you I don't want to know, because I feel like that would just mess with my head. And if there is a woman, if there is someone, she's irrelevant, because he's with me. We're intimate still. He's in contact with me. But last night he came over to take care of our dog. He came in and I knew he was going to do it. I don't know why I left them out. He read my journals. It's all my processing and just crazy stuff that you write when you're trying to figure all this crap out. And he didn't try to hide that he did. He left it out like he did it. He knew that I was going to know. So he actually was upset about what he read instead of being properly like, I'm sorry. So anyway, but oddly, my sense is that I was feeling like union was, we were going to be back together. I'm living somewhere else, and I felt like probably by June I would be back home. I don't know if that time frame is right, but I'm feeling like this is actually, oddly, a catalyst to somehow a breakthrough with him saying, oh my God, I know what I've done, but he keeps telling me I love, we were so in love before, and he's like, a lot of the feelings are gone. I can't get them back, and I don't know how to, but I don't want to be divorced from you. He did tell me that today. He did finally agree to go to relationship coaching / counseling. So anyway, what I really want to know is, my sense is that my intuition tells me that he actually was surprised. He thought he had cut me off and thought he could walk away, and he discovered that he really can't. And I feel like he read that journal because he was freaked out, looking for a reason to say, nope, I am done with her. But he's shocked. Yeah. He's shocked to find out that he's actually in love with me, as in love with me as he always was. So I feel like that's my intuition. But I want to know how he feels about what he read in my journal, and how to energetically let him know, don't get hung up on this. Like, I feel violated and I'm embarrassed, but I'm not angry, and I'm not in unforgiveness over it. And I want to know if he really does love me, and if we have an idea of timing at that. Yeah, okay, hang on.
I'm going to go ahead and hang on. It's like, I think it was supposed to happen that he look at your diary. And honestly, it's like, if you don't want someone to see something and they have access to your house, you should probably hide it.
Right. But, I did have it in the drawers.
Oh, he found it in the drawer. Oh, God.
Oh, yeah, no, he purposely went rooting for it. He'll go through my phone. Ooh. I was in the hospital. He took my phone and went and read my messages. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's how his family rolls.
I think what surprised him most about reading that diary is it could have been him. I think there was a lot that resonated with him, a lot that he really understood, and he understood you better than ever. And I think that he was like, oh, like a lot of this chaos in the relationship between you guys has been like just in his head. A lot of masculines are realizing right now that so much has been sabotaged because of what they've been thinking, when in actuality, if they were to just get through to the truth, it would have spared them a lot. So they're starting to break out of those chains now too, because they're willing to take a look at the truth and get past delusions and things that they were just kind of wanting to believe about things. So let me feel into any kind of time frame for you guys. I do feel June's going to be big for you guys, and I do feel you guys going through a happier period. And I just think the more clearly and honestly you guys talk, the better. And I think that you need to be willing to take a look at the third party thing, because you guys, everything's all about transparency and honesty and authenticity right now. So if he does have a third-party situation going on, I would want to know about it, and I would be sure to clarify that with him, just so you know what's going on, and not so that you would be angry or resentful of that person, but so that you are in the know. For one, you don't want to get a disease. For two, you guys should be able to be honest with each other. And for 3, also, it's like you need to know, if you guys are going to take it to the next level and kind of try to repair things, you guys need to know the truth and not base things on a faulty foundation.
Mm-hmm.
So, and yeah, you guys, a lot of these guys, the karmic, I thank God for the karmics, because honestly, they help these guys learn a lot. they really learn a lot.
He keeps saying no.
Okay.
I've asked.
Well,
but I don't know. I mean, I don't go spy on him. He doesn't live far from me, but I feel that's then how am I any better than what he did? I don't know.
Some third party, some things show up as third party energy in the cards when it's really insecurities and fears. And I know this guy does have a lot of insecurities and fears.
Oh,
so very well could have been that. Yeah. But I mean, I think
crap.
you definitely have a little bit, a little bit of a longer road to travel with this guy. He's got some serious injuries, mental injuries, but I think you guys can do it. I always recommend doing Byron Katie's work. If you guys can find out if there's a workshop you guys can go over to. She's in Ojai, California. If you guys can learn to, her name is Byron Katie. Her first name is Katie. She goes by Byron Katie, but she works out of Ojai, California. She does really great workshops for the weekend. You could just fly over for the weekend. Learning how to do her process will save you thousands of dollars on counseling and really give you guys tools to be able to sort through any stressful thoughts and be able to alleviate stressful thoughts from your life. It's amazing the way it reframes your brain, and you don't have to go through all the past garbage to heal that stuff. You just get over a stressful thought that comes to you in this moment and in this moment and in this moment. You don't have to rehash a bunch of old stuff.
I'm not into rehashing.
No.
He freaked out about the tarot cards. He's like, I don't know what the hell you're doing with that stuff, and that's just crap, and I want you to know I'm not having that in my life. I'm like, I wouldn't be doing this. I'm trying to figure stuff out.
Yeah.
Not, isn't how I typically, I've never gone down this road.
Yeah, he's pretty guarded.
To keep myself together. Yeah.
Okay, so good luck, and I got to get to some other callers.
Yep.
But thank you for calling in.
Okay.
And I'll talk to you later, okay?
All right. Yep.
Bye, Kelly.
Bye.
Okay. So Leslie.
Hi, Amy.
Hi.
Can you hear me okay? I've transitioned to my car now.
Yes, I can hear you just fine.
Thank you so much for taking my call. This is my first time, and I actually just found your YouTube channel 2 days ago. So everything has definitely resonated 100%. So I just requested a reading from you today, too. So you'll see that come through as well. But I just wasn't sure how to ask the question, so I thought maybe I'll jump on the call and just listen in. I didn't know if I was going to get able to talk to you or not. So, so I have a twin, Mark, and this is our second separation in 2.5 years. It's been a year now, and we've had no speaking to each other at all. I did reach out to him for Thanksgiving, sent him an e-card. He did respond to let me know that he moved from where we live in Arizona back to his home in Milwaukee. He is in a karmic relationship. In fact, this is going to go really fast because I know you have other callers. She is a narcissist, but she also has multiple personality disorder. Which is why I think that Mark hooked up with her, because she has children, and they now have a child together that was born a year ago, so the child is a year. So I know he's in a custody battle, trying to get custody of the children. He has been worked in law enforcement for over 30-plus years. So some of this I feel like he's making me kind of wait until he gets control or gets these children. So my question to you tonight is, I feel this energy, like there's something going on. I know that these children are in an abusive situation because the mother is mentally ill. And so I want to know, is it just time for me to say, you know what, squash all this, excuse my language, this shit. It's time for us to talk, because I feel this, I want to reach out to you. I want to tell you what's going on, but I can't because things are so in the trenches right now. Or do I need to just sit still and wait? So that's my question, because I know these children are children that have returned to me, but he doesn't know that yet. He doesn't know that part about it yet. And I know he is spying on me because he knows how to do that. I know he does. So my question to you, Amy, is do I just need to sit tight and wait to him to handle this situation, or do I need to just say, forget this, I'm calling you, I'm talking to you, we need to talk about these children because I feel like they're in danger.
Okay. The first thing I'm going to do is do a light language blessing to protect the kids right now. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, hang on. Hashi imokma insa electitina aditi popo umsate halehi mo kai hasasin tateki mokola ai hasasa no mai ananai kalapuruna tatela ai kararis hasasina mo ke halahama oka anja asatitena. All right. All right. So the kids are good.
Thank you.
Yeah, let him handle it. Let him handle it. He knows the situation best.
Okay.
Send prayers, send blessings. Not your responsibility, not your business yet. He has to make some major decisions, and the Taurus new moon is going to force that. So it's like the universe has got your back, and it can do better than you can. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I know a situation like that can be really tough, but yeah, he's going to take care of it. Just let him know you're available to talk if he needs you.
Amy, I have a connection with the little girl already, and so I communicate with her telepathically, and so I feel her energy that she's scared, and so I know he knows what's going on, and he is handling it, but I just, as a mom, I don't feel this sitting here doing nothing. I feel like if I don't, something terrible is going to happen, and he won't be there to stop it. And so,
if anything, you can say that to him. If anything, just say that to him. Just say, I really feel like something really bad's going to happen to this kid. I feel a connection to her. I'm really concerned. Maybe just say that and say, I'm available to talk if you need me.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. And I look forward to the reading. It probably will get more intense, but I'm glad I had a chance to talk with you so you could at least hear what's actually going on. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. I'll look forward to our talk.
All right.
Thanks, Leslie.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye. Hello?
Hello?
Hey, thanks for holding for so long.
Hi, Amy. Thank you for taking the time. I know you've inundated. My name's Nicole. I found your YouTube today, and I think it was just a coincidence that I had to, I guess I was meant to find it and find out you were doing this, and I'm also going get a reading from you too, probably. It just resonated. I think it was meant to be. So thank you.
You're welcome. And by the way, your phone number is very synchronistic to me. More than you could possibly imagine. I'm looking at your number going, what is this? I'm not going to say the number, but oh my gosh. Okay, so go ahead.
We'll talk about that in private when you can tell me what part of it, which digit. So, yeah.
Every bit, every number in it. It's pretty amazing.
Oh, wow. Well, there you go. Good. I have been beside myself. I'm with this. I don't know where to begin. We've been separated for a second time now, and I'm so madly, deeply in love with this very sweet guy. And to cut a long story short, I take full responsibility for us not being together, because when you fall in love and it's someone that and I've been around the block a few times. I'm not a spring chicken anymore. When you meet someone who you really connect with, and I know he felt the same way, he would have a lot of deja vus when he was with me, and he'd be like, oh my God, I've relived this moment before, this is freaking me out. Like, you just said that. And he'd go to say something, and then I would speak, and he'd go, how did you know I was just about to say that? And I go, I don't know. And that would happen not once or twice or three. I mean, it would be like a everyday thing whenever we were together. So it was just our thing. It was just, we were so in sync. So, and it was like the whole world made sense. And being with him made sense, having suffered all the ways that I had in the past. And he said the same thing too. He said, now I get why I was supposed to meet you. And I'm like, so do I. But, us women, when we get vulnerable, we start thinking, living in the past, right? And all the times that I have been hurt before, and I started getting paranoid, and it caused problems each time. 2 times we've broken up. So I just don't know and he didn't treat me badly. He didn't treat me unkind. He was very respectful. He was very sweet, very loving, very friends. We would hang out together. Nothing was boring. It was just bliss, We'd laugh so much, and just everything, and lovemaking was great, everything. So and there was a trust there. There was felt safe. We both felt safe, but I think I made him feel very unsafe because I started feeling insecure. I don't know where. I haven't heard from him since probably the beginning of February, and last time we broke up, I was the one who initiated contact, and he was over the moon about that. I think I kind of took and he couldn't wait to see me. But I kind of put the brakes on, and then we got back together again. And this time I'm thinking I'm not going to do that again, because it needs to be his movement now. He knows how I feel. I've told him how I feel. I've told him in the past, please don't ever shut me out, include me if there's ever, I'm getting emotional, so I just need to know whether, because I know he's been hurt in the past, as we all have. He's been through 2 divorces actually in the past, so I'm sure there's a lot of fear, and I don't know whether he's completely just gone, you know what, I'm done with this because it's too much, you keep doing this, or what, and whether I should just move on. But I feel like any minute now he's going to go and ring the doorbell. I don't know, it's freaky. I feel like I can feel him, and some days I feel like he's just so far away and I can't feel him at all, so I'm confused. I'm beside myself, and but I just feel like it's not. I don't feel it. I don't feel this is the end of the road. It's just bizarre. I can't seem to let go.
Yeah. Okay. Let me feel into him. Hang on. No, it's definitely not the end.
Okay.
I actually kind of feel like a bubbly, happy energy with him right now. I feel like he's just had some major, like, epiphany or something. I feel like he wants to contact you again, and I feel like he's feeling more optimistic than ever. I feel some kind of a trip coming up. Like, I feel like he wants to invite you to go on a cruise with him or a road trip or something. And dinner, and nice dinners out. I don't know. I feel like a pep in his step. Like he's just had a load lifted off, and he's all excited about a new beginning with you. I don't know. It's the weirdest. From what you just told me, it's such a different energy.
Yeah.
He really does feel excited to me. He feels like kind of puppy doggy. Like it's the sun card, if you know the tarot. He's totally in the sun.
Leo, actually.
I'm getting the sun and the chariot. He's a Leo?
Yes.
That explains a lot. I love Leos.
He's very prideful. Like he's the king of the jungle, so he won't. Don't offend me, and if you do, if you insult me, that's it. Like, know your place. So I make it sound like he's horrible, but it's a protection thing.
Yeah. He's going to approach within the next. I feel like the pressure is building for him. Like he needs to reach out to you. He's getting really antsy in the next 3 weeks or so. That's what it feels like to me. And I feel like you guys are actually going to get back into a relationship. I don't think it's going to be any of this come and go stuff that we've been talking about all night. I feel like he's going to be ready.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be ready. That's what it feels like to me anyway. It feels like King of Wands energy, like just determined and passionate, and he's going to make it happen. I feel like he's had some bruises to his ego, and I feel like he's also had some. If I just saw a lion get bopped on the head, and this lion has that really funny look on his face, like hey, but at the same time he's like, oh, I kind of needed that.
Right.
So he's just had some kind of like something happened to him to where he's looking at things differently. I bet we would see the Chariot, the Hanged Man, and the King of Wands with him right now. But it feels really good. It feels like a new beginning is just around the corner. So I wouldn't worry about it. I would just send them love and go enjoy your summer and have a good time, and just know any moment he's going to show up and you guys are going to be going at it again for round 3. And I think this next time it's going to stick. I think you guys are going to do a lot better this next time. It's so cool to see how much twin flames mature in these separation periods. But it's pretty cool. It's pretty neat. I think he's humbled. He's been humbled. Mm-hmm. So I think it's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
No more blame. He just said no more blame.
Right.
So that's good.
He actually, when we the last time that we were together, when I had my I don't know, meltdown. I don't know what was wrong with me. He said to me, I really don't need this. And we were at his apartment. He said, I think you should leave. And I wasn't being, I was crying, and I said to him, I'm giving you my heart. Please don't shut me out, because he was acting weird and not calling me back. And I just got paranoid, and I just thought, I just got to have a word. I've just got to tell him, like, call him out on it. Like, why you know. And he said, I don't need this right now, and I really think you should leave. And I said, if I leave, I know you're going to ghost me again until I'm the one to make the... He said, I know, but he wasn't expecting it. And I think he was when I think back, 2020 is hindsight. Hindsight is 2020, what's the phrase? You know, he's in the military, it's a high pressure job, and he was coming and going from where he lives to downtown at 3 a.m. in the morning, and having to be at the barracks early and things like that. And he was telling me one thing, but then I'm like, but you told me, and I was trying to put two and two together and trying to catch him out. It was me, my brain playing tricks on me. So that's why I'm a bit nervous this time round. That's all, as to whether he's offended.
Okay, so I just put out a video tonight about since a lot of unions are starting to happen right now. People are starting to, more twin flames and soul flames and stuff are starting to actually talk now. And they're coming out of that ghosting. And so they're nervous, just like you. They're like, geez, is he going to ghost me again? Am I going to say the wrong thing to make him run? Am I going to, all this stuff. So watch that video and see if that helps. And if it doesn't, then and anyone who's listening to this, if that video does not help you and you have further questions, please put them in the comments, and I will make another video to expand further as you guys go along, because I really want to adequately support you guys. So I have another couple of callers to get to.
Okay,
but hopefully that'll help for now.
Your readings, do you do them live or do you do them pre-recorded or?
Pre-recorded. I do, I have personal readings that I do. If you go to amysatori.com/services, then I can do 20 or 45-minute readings either over the phone or on Skype, depending on where you are in the world. And, but the collective readings that I do on YouTube and stuff like that, those are recorded and then uploaded to YouTube.
Right. Okay.
But having said that, if it's a pre-recorded message for like a month out, let's say, I will into that week, and it's been like scary accurate, even though it was a month out. So time does not exist like we think it does. You could go out a year from now and do a reading a year from now with that intention of tapping into that energy, and you will. It's amazing. So
you mean the collective or the personal ones?
Whatever your intention is. It doesn't even matter.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much, Amy. Thank you for taking the time.
You're welcome. Yeah, have a great night.
You too.
Okay, hello.
Hi, Amy. This is Avery.
Avery, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Wonderful. I comment on your videos and your Instagram posts sometimes, so you might
Thank
see
you.
me. Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah. So my question is a physical healing question, and I'm hoping to get a healing. I'll try to keep it kind of short. It's a little long-winded, but so since I discovered I was a twin flame back in July, since I started like the conscious healing journey, my body has like become prone to getting abscesses and like staph infections.
Okay.
I've gotten a few. The first one I got was on my left side, and then I got one on my right upper thigh, like by the bikini line. And the most recent one was on my right wrist, right at the joint. And then, so real quick, I've been in a really good place for like the past week, like past 5 days, I'd say. Been in a really good place of like inner peace. I'm really seeing like miracles starting to happen, like things are happening. It's been awesome. Cool. And so I was really surprised to discover that I got another one on my left wrist, because I kind of discovered a root cause is like holding on to anger, resentment, all that kind of thing. So I got another one, and then I was like, okay, well, whatever, it wasn't as bad or as severe as the other ones. And then like last night at like 12:30, I look in the mirror, washing my face and stuff, and I look at my eyelid, like rims, the bottom eyelids, and it looks like some styes or something may be developing. I don't know, but it's like by the tear ducts. And that kind of freaked me out. So my immediate response was to call onto Archangel Raphael and, Jesus as well as a healer, and listen to healing frequencies and, breathe in healing energy, because, I didn't want to jump to conclusions. I really wanted to just, really rely on my inner knowing and the divine and all that, since I'm in this good place. That's what felt right,
Okay.
And so today I did some forgiveness work. I really cried it out and spoke out loud about letting go, putting down the burdens, releasing anger, because my parents, my mother's a narcissist, my dad's a codependent, of course, so I've been really having to work through that. And since I've been in this good place for about 5 days, I've come to that point where I was like, it's time to let that shit go. And so I really spoke that out into the universe and released it to my guides and my angels, archangels, all of that, and really moving into really even more heart-centered place. And so all of that said, I just, should I keep, do I, this, eye thing, do I need to go to the hospital? What do I need to do? Or should I just do the energetic healing work, like my gut instinct told me to do?
Okay, hang on a second.
Okay.
I don't feel you need to go to the hospital, but of course, if you, take this with a grain of salt,
of course.
like my disclaimer says.
Yes.
If you feel you need to go to the hospital, go to the hospital.
For sure,
but
for sure.
My intuition is saying you don't need to.
Okay.
I feel it'll clear up in a couple of days.
Okay.
You're crying. What you did released most of it. It already. It's already moving through. It's already leaving. They're saying weep for your childhood, for your lost childhood. You had to be an adult as a child, and they're wanting you to recapture being a child again, and mourn for that child that never got to be a kid and carefree, and make up for it now by doing really fun things, like having a lot of laughter in your life and joy. And also learn to see, I would use my exercise, Thank You God for My Misery, to take a look at anything in your life that you feel went wrong or is currently going wrong, and say, thank you God that, that I have these cysts, or thank you God that I have these abscesses. Thank you God that people look at me in a certain way. Thank you that my boss is being like this, or thank you that, it lists off everything that you feel is going wrong or has gone wrong, and then you list 10 to 15 advantages or benefits as to why that's perfect that happened or that is currently happening. Because one of the things they're saying is that you need to change the way that you're looking at certain circumstances in your life and see them as blessings instead of curses. And start to see that even the bad things in your life are really actually blessings and things that that are benefiting you, that are good for you. Nothing is ever really going wrong.
Right. Okay.
So even the, wait, hang on. There's something, abscesses coming through. Just a second. Okay. What are you doing about the anger stuff, did you say? Forgiveness, you're doing forgiveness? Okay, so I feel like some of the, I see how frogs have that throaty thing? They have a bubble on their throat. that's what your abscesses look like to me, is a bunch of frogs all over you that are doing the throaty thing. They're riveting. So
Okay.
so it's kind of like your voice is trying to say something. Your frogs are trying to say something. I would look up the symbolism of frogs and what they mean, because somehow frogs are trying to come through for you right now.
That's so funny. My best friend, like one of his, like, I guess, spirit totems that I would say for him would be is a frog, because it's like his mascot. That's so funny.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway.
So, you'll probably know this, but you got a bunch of frogs all over you, riveting.
Got a bunch of frogs. Okay.
And so, but I feel like it has something to do with anger, and so I think they're wanting you to vocalize your anger. So if I were you, a couple of things that you could do is, I heard of this traditional, well, I don't know if it's a traditional Chinese thing, but it's a Chinese thing from what I understand. You know how these things are spread by rumors anyway. Who knows if it's true, but it sounds like a pretty cool idea to me. So you could either like take a dozen or two eggs and throw them in the shower, just pissed off about whatever you can think to be pissed off about. And you could start from when you were little, you know, all the way through to now. And just like, you know, I'm angry at my brother, I'm angry at my sister, I'm angry at my dad, I'm angry at that bully in school. Like everything you can think of being angry at, just throw these eggs in the shower. So that you can clean it up afterwards. And if not that, go out in the woods, find a tree, ask the tree, do I have permission to please? I'm not upset with you, but I do want to use your trunk to throw these eggs on. And then you respectfully throw these eggs at the tree as best you can. And, you know, and do that out in the middle of the woods, and some raccoon's going to thank you.
Totally.
And just have fun, you know, like getting angry out there in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. You know what? Me and my best friend I just spoke about have been meaning to go out and shoot some arrows in the woods. So I can maybe verbalize that. And I'm a musician and I write music, so I can really verbalize my anger through that. Yeah, that's my next step. That was another conclusion I came to, you know, after that, like, purge. I was like, I really need to take steps, like, into my mission to really kind of transition into and out of this, you know.
Okay.
So that's going to...
all right, so there's one more. There's one more exercise, and this is just for anybody who's listening. If this doesn't suit you, then it's for whoever's listening. One thing that I did once, it was so beneficial, I can't even tell you guys. I made sure nobody was home, obviously, and I took like a cardboard, like a you know, gift wrapping paper has that core in the middle that's solid. I found a really heavy duty one, and I took it into the bed, and I closed the door, and I started hitting the bed like in a rhythm. Like I stayed at a steady pace, like over and over and over, and I would just start at, you know, I'm angry at my brother, I'm angry at my dad, I'm angry at this, I'm angry at that, and I start hitting the bed. And then even if I couldn't think of somebody I was angry at, I kept that rhythm going. And then I would be angry at my grandmother, then angry at my cousin, then angry at whoever was popping up. And I kept doing that, like I said with the other thing, but you keep hitting the bed with this rhythm for as long as you can go, and then you go through your whole entire life up until the present time. I think it took me about 45 minutes to get through everything, because I had never, like, totally gone through everything that's ever happened in my life before like that. It was a very thorough cleansing. After, 45 minutes, I couldn't think of anybody to be upset about anymore. And it was, I don't even want, I don't want to blow the ending, but it was amazing. It was just amazing what happened after that.
Wow.
So, and since I haven't done
I've done things like that before, and I remember, like, that it was really did serve as a relief. So, I need to give myself a cardboard tube.
Okay, so I guess we're good for now on that. Is there anything else? Because we just have one more caller and then we got to go. Are you there? Are you? Okay, you're gone.
Sorry about that if I accidentally hung up on you. That should help for now, though. You can always call back another Sunday and ask me anything else. And I do have this one last call to get to, if it'll pick up. There we go. Hello? 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 Oh, hang on. It didn't pick up. Sorry about that. Hello? Okay. Well, let's see. You are off mute. You are off mute. All right. I guess we're to anybody who wants to talk. Or we've gotten through everybody who wanted to talk. So thank you guys so much to those of you who called and participated this evening. I appreciate you, all of you who've been watching my videos and commenting, and those of you who are on Instagram. I am enjoying this community so much as you guys are enjoying me, and I really appreciate having you guys and the information that you guys share with me that I can then share with everybody else. It's just been so nice for us all to have each other. And if you guys want to schedule a personal reading, you can go to amysatori.com/services, and I would be happy to have a one-on-one with you. And I do have some available times right now if you guys want to do that. Otherwise, you guys just have a beautiful morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. And know that I am with you. I am probably in your dreams. I've been getting a lot of reports lately that I am even working while I'm sleeping, which kind of cracks me up. But anyway, I guess I'll see you in your dreams. If not, then I'll see you on the next video I make or next week's Satori Show. So, mwah. Bye.